Well, hello, everybody out there watching. I'm remoted in, gonna do a little bit of commentating here. I'm gonna try to look on the bracket and see where these guys are at. But this is SUNAR and Leo Ott. Looks like it's a race to 5 for this tournament. Up here, looks like it's gonna be 10 ball BCA rules. I'm assuming. I'll find some information on it real quick. Kind of getting in last minute. So this is for the 622 and under Mako tournament. It's a qualifier for that tournament. As AMAN goes up 2-0. So these guys are trying to earn their way into that tournament. It looks like this is actually the hot seat match. You guys are playing for the hot seat. Looks like Jimenez and Dylan Helfenstein are playing right now in the 5th, 6th spot to try to get to the 4th place match against Chris Tran. And then the winner of that will play the loser of this match. So this is the hot seat match. Looks like this is actually a race to 7. Looks like the B side is race to 5. All right, Amon's breaking here. 2-0. He's got a pretty good control of this match so far. Crushes the break, but one ball's in a funny spot. Most likely just going to play a safety here. Kind of depends on which route he wants to go. Whether he wants to thin the ball on the left and try to get below this 2-8, or the opposite side and try to come in between the 5-9. Yeah, he went the other way, trying to get between the 5-9. It's a good shot. Hard to tell from this angle. It doesn't look like it passes the 6 to be able to make the 1, but he can probably hit the left side of the 1 ball. Difficult to go rail first when the cue ball's on the rail there. I don't think he has a whole lot of choices here other than to try to, if he can get by that 6 ball with the cue ball, try to play his safety, try to draw the cue ball back up into the spot over here, and then get the, oh, wow, he could make it. Just enough. Amon played a really great shot. Looks like he got just a little unlucky with it, getting just enough for him to be able to make that ball, but got a tough shot here on the 2. He's got to go back and forth, it looks like. I'll never like soft roll and stuff. But he made it work. He's in a pretty good spot here. Everything seems fairly straightforward except for the transition from the 8 to the 9. Definitely wants to get out here, though. Last thing you want to do is give up a 3-0 lead. I don't know if there's anybody out there watching. Let me know in the chat. You know who you're rooting for. Looks like this is sponsored by Top Notch Home Inspections. Awesome to see so many people out there sponsoring our events and everything these days. He overhit that ball a little bit, I think. I don't see a world in where he'd want to play to that side of the 8, but it's a pretty good spot. He's got a little bit of a back angle to make sure that when he rolls forward for this 9, he's not just leaving himself on the rail. So he'll want to be able to bring the cue ball out to this area here. I don't have a mouse with me, so I'm having to use the mouse on my laptop. So it's going to probably be a little sketchy when I do some drawing here. It's one of those spots. I prefer to just let the cue ball travel forward off the side rail and then back down over here, play the 10 in that other side. Some people will try to do a little punch draw and try to come off the rail and run into the 10. Never a good idea to run into balls unless you have to. Just center high, let the cue ball come forward. Just got to focus on pocketing the 9. Just like that. Pretty good out by Leo. It's pretty unfortunate leave that AMAN came up with when he hit it perfect, just a little too hard and left that shot. And it's hard to tell. I don't know. He might have had to spin that a little bit to force that one in. Either way, it was a great shot by Leo. Really, really good out. See how these guys, who they've had to play to get here. Looks like Leo. Well, Leo had a first round bye, but played Scott Bernard his first match, beat him hill. Scott's a heck of a player, so that's a pretty strong win there. Then he played Trevor Sickendick in his next match and won that one hill as well. Looks like he played Jimenez in his third match and won that hill. So he's had some tough competition and some close matches. So definitely not an easy road for him. It's probably, I haven't looked at the bracket a whole lot. That's what I'm doing right now. Probably not much of a easy road in this whole tournament. It's always nice to see that he's had to put in some work, it looks like, to get to this spot. So it's pretty cool. Made a ball in this break, lost his cue ball. Got pretty fortunate to have a shot on the 1. Got the 4. So that must be the 3 by that top right corner. So he's going to try to dig into this 1 and get the 8 ball to hold the cue so it doesn't travel too far. Nope, he overcut it. He was so focused on holding the cue, he just overcut that. Mon can bank this and draw back a little, or most likely he's just going to cut it in the side and come around the 7-10. He's just taking a look to see whether he wants to try to force to come on the rail side around the 4 or whether he wants to come between the 10-4. He's just got to hold up and make sure that 6 ball can get really big if he overhits it. So, yeah, he just stayed pretty cautious and made sure he played that big area there. Didn't let either one of those balls get in his way. Yep. Well, he cut it thin. That's why it came off and ran into the 6. What he was trying to do was he was trying to cut it just a little thicker, and he's trying to get the cue ball to come off this direction. Instead of playing for the combo on the 4-8, he was playing to get short side on the 4 to play it in the side. But, yeah, smart shot. He didn't get what he wanted, and he didn't try to force something. He could have easily tried to force a combo or something there, but he'd have a lot of work trying to hold the cue ball or come back and forth with the cue ball. And then if he doesn't hit it good, the 4 ball could end up on that end rail and get super funky. So table control, Leo's got a pretty easy 1 to 2 rail escape here. So he's going to get a hit. he should get a hit. Um, I would try to come in off the end rail. I try to come 2 rails at it because there's an opportunity to be able to kick safe, kick the 4 up this direction, and leave the cue ball a little kick and stick, and try to get covered by one of those 3 balls right there. Now he called the shot. I don't know if he's calling it just in case or if he's actually going to try to pocket this ball. I wouldn't expect him trying to pocket it. Yeah, I think he actually was trying to pocket that ball. I was asking a lot. This table's pretty funky right now. One good shot by AMAN if he decides to go for this. Some low left and come off this rail over here and then get it to come back this way. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that's super touchy because if he puts too much low on that, or if he hits it thick with that left English, it's going right to that side pocket. Doesn't want to put any low. He just wants to punch it in with center high or center left and get it to come straight across. Catch this rail and let that left English bring him back this way and not use the draw. Put it right in the drink. So Leal's got an opportunity here to tie it up 2-2. Couple unforced errors. Man, that's he came up really short. I'm assuming he'll just he's gonna bank this, huh? Let's say he could just roll the 6 to the rail here and freeze him on this 7 ball. Seems like the cleaner play. Um, drawing that 5 ball, he came up way short because he could get anywhere on this part of the table and have what he needs. But he missed the bank, left him on an opportunity here. It's not easy, a little 50-yard line on each way, but he just got to cinch this ball. 7 passes to 10. He's going to be on that half the table. So he just wants to cinch this. He doesn't want to run into the 9. He wants to come off that past the 9 and go 2 to 3 rails. I focused on cinching it. Surprised he didn't let his stroke out a little bit there and let that cue ball come off. There's no harm in coming and catching this 3rd rail here because you're coming into the line of the 7. So, but doesn't matter. Made a great shot there. As long as he doesn't get hooked by the point, doesn't look like it. It's a good shot. Nice. Had to go around the 10. Lets him put a little bit more of a stroke on the ball, not try to just cut it thin and hold with speed to the center there. He's able to put a little stroke on it. That's good. Well, he flirted with the side there. Got dangerous. So Leo missed a really big opportunity there to tie this up. It's unfortunate. Just probably not wanting to overstroke it, but like I said, he could put a big stroke on that 5 ball for the draw and get anywhere on this end of the table and have that shot there. So made a mistake there and cost him the game. 3-1. AMAN breaking. So it looks like it's not a double dip format for the finals. Whoever wins this will be sitting in the hot seat waiting, but they will not have to be double dipped. It'll be just a longer race, a race to 11 in the finals. It's a winner break format. Looks like it's rack your own, just smart, making sure and eliminating any friction between players when you have to do opponent rack. I think the only time opponent rack is necessary nowadays is if it's a 9-ball tournament and 9-ball breaks count. Got a really good pop on that ball, but he hit it a little off center and put it right in the side. Going to give Leo another really good opportunity. I don't know if the 8 passes the 10, he may have to play short side to it. He's got the 6 in a spot where he could manipulate those balls, or he can play the short side over here to make that 8 up table. 9's in a good spot. Shape to the 10 will be easy from there either way, but don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So he's got to make sure and focus on pocketing the 1 and getting to where he wants on the 2. He did have ball in hand, right? Why is he? He's left-handed, so that's why he shot that from so far away. But he almost missed that ball. Sometimes I don't understand why you would, with ball in hand, why you'd leave yourself a long, tough shot. But it fell in. Cuts this. If that 9 wasn't sitting where it's at, this would be a great opportunity just to drive forward a little bit and separate the 8-10. Um, but with the 6 being blocked to that bottom left, you don't want to do too much here. I think he'd be better off to draw and try to get to this half the table over here, as long as you don't draw into the side. It's like he's struggling a little bit with his draw stroke. That's the second time he's had a draw shot that he came up very, very short. Would not surprise me if he. Oh, wow. Say wouldn't surprise me if he comes up short for the 8, but he hit it good. He's pretty fortunate where the 9 ball is because he's leveled out because he's so close to the rail. He just got to focus on pocketing this 8 ball. Yeah, it was a good shot. He's made some positional errors, but he's keeping himself in the rack with his ball pocketing, so that's good. I haven't seen any of his other commentator's curse, maybe. Bad timing to say something like that. He missed that by a lot, too. Scratched. Oh, that was a really good spot to be able to keep it within 1 with the break, but got to expect AMAN to get out here and be up 4-1 with the break. That's pretty rough. Got pretty good to the 10. Assuming he'll make this and he'll get out. Just looking at the performance ratings in digital pool right now, looks like AMAN's playing at a 727 speed, so he's topping the tournament right now, so it's no surprise that he's in this hot seat match and he's up right now. Closest to him is Dylan playing around a 664 Fargo speed, so he's playing 30, 40 points up from where his Fargo is, so that's good. It's always funny to kind of look at these and just kind of see where people are, see how they're playing compared to what their Fargo is. It's always good to be playing at a higher effective rating for the tournament when it's a capped tournament like this and everybody's in that similar, 20 to 30 point range. See what he does here at the break. His last 2 breaks weren't the best. He had a scratch and then he just didn't control the one. And he scratches again on the other side. I feel like he could probably clean some of that up if he just eliminated some of his body movement. I don't know if he's throwing some of that body movement in there on accident or if he's doing it as that's part of his break, but he's not hitting the 1 ball clean. And he's giving Leo another opportunity here. He's trying to decide what he wants to do. I'd probably play this just to come back to center of the table. This area up here. Leave yourself an angle on the 4. He's going to come around this pack. He's actually got pretty decent, surprisingly. I'm not sure why he would travel that route. Um, yeah, a little confused by that one. He hung the four. Yeah, I just feel like he just plays that one with just a little bit of angle and plays it with some left hand English or low left and just bring it out to the center of the table. I mean, anywhere out here, and he's got an easy cut on the four with natural shape to the six. Um, he just went the other direction. Amon got pretty straight here. He may have to force this. Um, yeah, he's just going to take his medicine. I can't tell if the eight passes the nine or not to that corner, but he can go three rails around and come over near that side pocket to shoot the eight in the bottom left hand corner. He chose to come back and forth, got really good shape, but it's no good if you don't make the ball. Both these guys making some mistakes. I haven't seen both these guys play a ton, but I'm assuming these are pretty uncharacteristic mistakes, um, considering they're Fargo and considering they're at this point in the tournament playing for the hot seat. And that might be causing a little bit of it, just a little bit of nerves, trying a little too hard, maybe. This is big. Leo needs this. Get this and be able to have the break, being only down two. So Amon started this tournament with a match against Jaime Lechuga, 7-1. Then he played Kenny Dodd, beat him 7-4. And then he's the one that put Dylan to the B side with 7-6. Dylan's still in this tournament. And then he put Chris Tran to the B side, who's still in the tournament as well, waiting on Dylan's match. 7-1. That's what brought him here. So far, other than the match against Dylan Helfingstein, he's pretty much dominated and controlled all of his matches. Other than that Hill match against Dylan. So I don't know if they're using live scoring. Still shows a 0-0 for Dylan and Biviano. Probably butchering his name. Jimenez. Be curious to see who's up in that one, what the score is. Been going for about half an hour, it looks like. And got pretty fortunate that cue ball almost got kicked in the side over here. But pocketed ball, cue ball still on the table. And he has a back cut on the one, and the two's in a really good spot. The only problem balls really is the 8-7, which he can take care of when he shoots the 6 if he plays shape to the side. Shoot the 6 off the 8 ball. He doesn't have to hammer it. He just wants to make sure that the 7-8 separate. He has a shot at the 7. If he hammers it, the 7 might go into a really funny spot. So he's looking at that right now. I'm not sure with where that 10 ball's sitting, if he can play the 2 and come off the end rail to this direction and run into those balls. I wouldn't like that, though. I think he'd be better off just playing straight shape to the 4 from here. You don't want to try to break that out and not come up with a decent shot on the 4, especially with the 6 sitting in front of the side there. I think this is where he wants to definitely try to get as straight as possible on the 5, or at least on the bottom side of the 5 down here. So you can use that other rail to get shape to the 6. Yeah, good shot. Great shot. I mean, unless he wants to try to bank that 7, I think he has to play shape to play the 6 off that 8. Pretty good shot. Like to see him come back a little bit more, but he doesn't need to. Play this off. He just needs to make sure he pays attention to the position of his cue ball. He wants to make sure that it doesn't just lay up over here somehow and have the eight tie him up. So he wants to play that with a little bit of speed to come around, and that's not going to pan out good. That's what I was talking about. On he doesn't want to hit him too hard. He just wanted to hit the eight hard enough to get the 7/8 to separate, so they actually control and make sure that the seven just kind of comes down table down here, and the eight ball kind of stays in this general vicinity. When you hit them hard, this is the kind of funny things that can happen. But he's not out of it yet. Looks like he can still see a piece of this seven. I don't know if he can see enough to make it or play a safety here. Obviously, he can't cut it in the bottom left, but he might have a bank shot at it. With how long he's taken and his aiming he's doing, I'm assuming he's going to have to play a safety of some sort. He might even have to masse this to get a good hit. It's too bad. Curious to see what he comes up with. This is it, Midway tournament sponsored by Top Notch Home Inspections. It's a qualifier event for the 622 and under Mako tournament. You know, that's, I mean, if the cue ball could have traveled another foot or so, that would have been great. Um, couldn't ask for much more. It's pretty easy to cut this seven ball in. Just get the cue ball to come down table, back off this end rail. Yeah, he overhit it probably. He might have been playing to the side. I think he was just more focused on pocketing the seven and just taking whatever he gets. Eight's in a pretty easy spot as long as he stays on that straight line. I like what Amon did right there. I mean, some people will hit that ball, that eight ball on the side pretty flat, and just try to come straight across. But you bring the side pocket into play on the other side. So then you're focusing on speed, make sure you don't overhit it. Um, Instead, he just put a little bit of left English, went ahead and brought it to this side rail over here, um, just to eliminate that and allowed him to let his stroke out and let the cue ball come all the way over there. No matter where it got on that end of the table, he's going to have an easy shot on the 10. Yeah, Zach, hop in, man. Up 5-2. That's tough. Winter break. Um, Leo's had a few chances here to stay closer in this match. Just made a few little unforced errors, and Amon's taking advantage of that. So Amon's made some errors too, especially on the break. Looks like these guys are taking a break. Speaking of, um, but the few errors, and it's only been a few that Amon has made. Um, hasn't really cost him more than maybe just the one rack at a time. In rotation pool or any pool, you want to be able to put a couple racks together, even if you're not breaking and running, just maintaining control, um, not forcing things, and keeping your opponent in their seat as long as possible, making them kick, jump, whatever when they get up there. Um, you know, Maintaining control not only can earn you games, um, but it also can slow down your opponent as far as it's tough to stay in stroke when you're sitting watching and not really up there playing. Obviously, if you got an open table, you want to get out. But if you're getting funky shape, if you get out of line instead of forcing things, oftentimes it's better just to stay in control of the match or in control of that game. Wow, that's pretty unfortunate. So Amon made a little change there. um, broke, and he changed his break, and he also focused on not coming straight over towards the sides. He put a little bit of draw on it, looks like, to come past him just in case, so that he didn't scratch, and then it gets kicked in. So a little unfortunate for Amon. Looks like Leo's going to take ball in hand. Curious to see what he does here because it doesn't look like the 2 passes the 5. He can always come back up to the center of the table up in this area over here, um, to play the 2. Yep, that's what he did. Smart. Overhit a little bit, but I mean, obviously, it'd be better off to overhit than underhit. He likes to play the bottom side of the cue ball a lot, I've noticed. I feel like he'd be better served right here to play the 2 forward and come off the end rail, and come back around to the center of the table, around the 4. But he chose to play draw. I'm not sure where he was focused on getting, but he ran into the 4 and left himself in a funny spot. This is one of those table control spots where I think he'd be better suited to play a safety here. Um, I mean, he's in a bad spot, so I don't know if you want to try to clip the 4 and play it cue ball to this end rail over here. Ooh, I lost my or play that. The only problem there is he hit it pretty good. He didn't clip the 10. And it's tough to go rail first for Amon because he's got to miss the point. Um, Getting a hit shouldn't be bad, but pocketing the ball or getting a good leave is probably going to be pretty tough. Yeah, trying to get a good leave. Yeah, actually, he did pretty good there. At 8, I can't tell if it'll cut into the side. Um, if not, he might just want to play the 4 off the 8 and draw the cue ball back similar to where it's at, a little further, get behind that 9. He could even clip the 4. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I was say he could clip the 4, lay it on the 8, and have the cue ball come down in this direction for safety. I'm not sure what he was trying. I think he might have been trying to pocket the 8 there. That's kind of what I'm talking about on table control. Giving him on more opportunities than he should with open shots. Yeah, he makes a great shot. Just stuns forward into the 5. He's in a good spot here. Just a little bit of left hand English. Come 2 rails right into the natural line of the 7. Yeah, he just kept it simple, 1 rail. The only thing I didn't like about that is you're coming across your shape line instead of the 2 rails with left. You're coming through it, so speed's not going to cause an issue. But he's got a pretty decent shot here. Looking at where he wants to play to for shape on the 8. Probably going to come off the side rail and back out a little to play the 8 into the top corner, I thought. Um, and I don't think he'd be playing to this combo on purpose, but this is what he's got. So yeah, early 10s count. Mon's on the hill, 6-2 with the break. It's a pretty uphill battle at this point for Leo. This is where he's just got to. I mean, it's almost too late to just play table control. I mean, he's probably just got to find a way to get out from this point forward. He may not have another chance though. Mon's been making changes. That last break he got unfortunate with that cue ball getting kicked in. But if he breaks similar, gets a good break, a good spread, makes balls, and the cue ball doesn't get kicked into a pocket, he has an opportunity to get out here. And this is for the hot seat. Um, if you weren't on, I mentioned it's not true double elimination. There will be a longer race in the finals, one single race to 11. You'll be sitting in the catbird seat. Boy, he crushed that break. He crushed it, and he can see the one. Everything else, I mean, really, just play that one, two rails back over shape. I mean, he wants to try to get fairly straight on the two. A little bit of angle either way is not going to hurt him a ton, but yeah, perfect. Pretty good. He could even stop this ball or just stunt forward a little bit. I never like rolling the ball. He might, but just roll forward. I mean, whatever you do, that four is in a really easy spot. Instead of forcing shape here, and shape from the five to the six could get a little funny. He might just play this off, and well, that's the three ball. That's crazy. I'm sorry, guys. Color's a little funky. Yeah, you got good to that three. A little close to the rail. Sure, he'd like to have been a little further off. Use a little bit of right English to come to the center of the table for the six. Where he's sitting pretty good is that nine's in an easy spot. So, oh, he overhit it. I was going to say, so he just wants to stay to the center of the table and just leave himself a shot where he can pocket the six, go back and forth. Doesn't matter where the cue ball lays, as long as he makes the six ball. As I say that, he misses it, and he's going to leave Leo pretty easy three ball out. And six in the side's his toughest shot, and he's almost perfect on it. He just needs to take his time and get out here. Yeah. Well, Leo got pretty fortunate that I don't know what was said there, but he looked up for some reason. Sure. Yeah, not what's sure what's going on there. If somebody's talking to him when he was shooting or what happened, but either way, he got out 3-6 with the break. I mean, Leo's won every match he's played. He's won hill. So I don't know how those matches transpired, um, but obviously he's a fighter. So see what he can do here. He's got to come with a really good break, not scratching the side, not be pinned up near the side. Thought Zach Zager was gonna meet me in the chat here, but must have had something else come up. So he drove that forward instead of trying to do a little pops, a little stun to the center, and made sure and eliminated being by that side pocket, which is good. Good break. Got a little unfortunate. Doesn't really have a shot on the one. I mean, if he can see, half this one ball, then he should be just playing like a center draw, maybe a little bit of low right, pin this six behind the cue ball behind the six and send the one up table. I think he might have actually been trying to thin that one and sending the cue ball back up table. He just missed it, but I have a feeling Amon's going to clip this and try to play down to that top left corner. I kept it simple. Well, let's see how good Leo jumps. Problem with this is even if he jumps this ball in, shape to the two is going to be a struggle. So you got to ask yourself if you even want to jump this ball in and then be hooked on the two. Might want to just jump full into this um, and try to get a tough containing shot. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Ball drops, ball in hand to Amon. Toughest ball to play shape two was the two. And I'm assuming Amon's going to be out from here. A little bit low right, come out, leave yourself. I mean, almost no matter where you get, if you come up short, you play the four down in the top right corner. You come a little long, you play the four in the side. But he needs to think about that. You don't want to just be willy nilly and then end up behind the 10 because you're not focused on your shape. So make a decision and go with it. Yeah, play the four in the side. It's hard to tell his angle. You might be able to just roll forward and play the seven in the other side. Confused by that shot. Even if this is the six here, I can't tell. It looks like the eight. But even if it's the six, he had too much angle. He still could have stunned over to here. Confused why he played that to the corner. I don't feel like that was very necessary. Leo overhit this, but he that might be the six. The way he's walking this table. Oh, it is the six. Wow. Man, I cannot believe he just did that to himself. I've done worse. I mean, if that's the case, that seven ball gets really big when you come one rail off. He'd have been better off hitting that four a little thicker with some right hand English and coming off the end rail, this side rail, playing to this six to eliminate that seven ball completely. But it's the past. Got to move on. I'll try to pocket this ball here. That was a good try. Left him on a back bank here. Favor him to make this ball. It's a pretty standard bank here. Yeah. And he's got room to cue. And it's natural English or natural shape over to the nine. So he just got to focus on pocketing the seven. Yeah. Good shot. Good shot. Yep. I think Leo's going to look back and realize he made a lot of little mistakes. Not sure if it was the pressure of the match or just being behind or what, but he's going to have to clean that up if he wants an opportunity to get back to play Amon here in the finals. So Amon's got the hot seat.